Hello, everybody. It's me, Bigfoot Michigan Rob. It's Friday. It's time for another subscriber encounter story, and this is from a subscriber. They don't participate in chat, but they watch the replays of the live shows or these videos. And don't forget the live shows Beyond BMR is at 9 o'clock in the East on Tuesday. Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob, also 1 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays. When I say I love you guys, I do. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you tuning into these videos and the live shows, as well as text with Texas Front Porch. Here we go. Fantastic story. Kick back, have a cup of coffee or whatever you want, and enjoy. Mid-May of 2011. Screaming, yelling, cries from the bedroom. My wife Sally yelled, "Sam, come quick." I immediately stopped my billiards game with my friend Jeff that Saturday night around 9 p.m. in the lower part of our cabin home in Scioto, Ohio. I hope I said that right. With the Shawnee State Forest as a beautiful backdrop to our home. We had a quad-level style cabin with our bedroom located on the first level. Sally, before I could get to the bedroom, was already running down the hallway screaming that a huge man wearing a wolf's mask was on the veranda, staring at her through the window where the multi-level decks surrounded the home. I approached the bedroom and pulled out my .357 Magnum secured in the top of my closet in the bedroom. I looked towards the window, but nothing was there. I yelled back at Sally. All was safe. She came back to the bedroom and began to tell me what she had witnessed. Sally was sitting at her vanity in the bedroom applying some makeup, when through her vanity mirror she noticed a wolf-like man with red eyes peering in at her. She thought it was an intruder in a mask with some sort of red light in the mask where the eyes were to be. It was peering in at her. It was much too dark to see any clothes on this figure. That head had red eyes, and it was so big and it was ever so distracting. Sally became especially scared as in the bedroom leading out to the veranda was our glass French doors. They were wide open, allowing for a breeze to come through into the bedroom. Screaming in fright, she still had the wherewithal to race towards the French doors to slam them closed and shut them, trying to obviously prevent the intruder's entrance. This person ran towards Sally outside on the deck. As soon as she got to the doors, this person, or now, as she says, creature, stopped and jumped off the deck and ran on two legs. Then suddenly, it dropped to all fours and sped off like a bolt of lightning, vanishing into the woodline. I listened to Sally and could not believe what she was saying. Naturally, I thought it was an exaggeration. After all, a person lurking in at her from the bedroom wearing a wolf's mask would certainly put you in a state of fear and exasperation, but this was an intruder trying to break in I had feared. So after calming down Sally, I went to the veranda and the deck area where this all took place. Shockingly, on the deck was one wolf print covered in mud right in the approximate area where it apparently jumped off the deck. The track was clearly visible because in this suspect's, and I do say suspect's, attempt to leave, the foot stepped into a huge pottery pot, shattering it, but the dirt stuck to the bottom of the foot, allowing for the clear, distinctive track. The track was 8 inches long by 4 inches wide, and extruding from its toes, you could make out what appeared to be a set of 3, perhaps 4, long talons or claws. So now, I'm not even thinking human. Right now, I don't know what to think. I then went outside with Jeff accompanying me. We brought a flashlight, we went out, and we immediately saw at ground level from where the bedroom's deck we discovered a set of bipedal wolf tracks, just like the tracks left on the deck or the veranda area. These tracks went on for about 4 or 5 yards before they now turned quadrupedic, dropping on all fours, and ran for another 10 yards or so. The thing that was really strange, of course, not that the tracks were not already, is that they disappeared some 25 yards before the tree line. They simply vanished. The next morning, Sally and I feverishly spent hours on the internet looking up these tracks. We used words like wolf, werewolf, wolf tracks, oversized claws. You get the point. We used just about every word associated of what was describing what Sally had seen. We pretty much ruled out a human intruder primarily because of my wife's description and those tracks. The website is now pulling up all sorts of images and stories, most being of werewolf folklore. Then a topic popped up in my web search. It read Dogman. I began to read. Most of what I found on the website made a lot of sense: bipedal, dog-like, or wolf-like cryptid. I had never heard the term cryptid. I found it fascinating. And I was even educated on the fact that the myth of Bigfoot fell into that category. I did not really believe any of this. I don't believe in Bigfoot, and certainly not a dogman. My only wish, despite Sally's terror, is that I needed to see this with my own eyes, and I missed out. Almost on cue, Jeff rang my phone and said, "Sam, you're not going to believe what I found online." I replied, "Dogman." Jeff paused and said, "Yep." After a brief moment of silence over the phone, we both retorted, "Let's go find this thing." Jeff and I set aside a day to go hiking into the Shawnee State Forest, of which I did mention earlier. Again, serves as a beautiful background and backyard to our Ohio home. Of course, it made sense that this is where the supposed cryptid came from. Jeff and I are still very skeptical of this entire situation. However, something visited my house that night. The description that Sally gave, the tracks, and most intriguing, how or why did they suddenly just vanish? This was a mystery to us all. Despite living so close to the state park, none of us had very little camping or even hiking experience for that matter. So, Jeff and I read up on the trails in the Shawnee and decided on where we would opt to enter the forest. We arrived at the destination at 8 a.m. on a Friday, equipped with backpacks, water, some food, a first aid kit, and to my surprise, Jeff brought a .45 caliber handgun. I myself, I do have a .357, as I made mention earlier, but I left it at home. I had it only for protection for myself and my wife. I was so oblivious to the state park rules, so I decided to be best to leave my weapon at home. Jeff stowed away his gun in the bottom of his backpack and retrieved it about 20 minutes into our hike. After bustling about for roughly 15 minutes unpacking and repacking Jeff's backpack to retrieve the weapon, we continued on. We spent a good 8 hours, often taking a rest and taking in Mother Nature. We were not sure of what even to look for, so we decided to look for the tracks. We found nothing. In fact, we spent the entire summer in our spare time hiking the trail and even camped out one weekend for 3 days. Yet nothing. The summer months rolled into fall. It was now going on 4 months with nothing. Sally even began to feel ridiculous about the entire situation. I did assure her, though, that she saw something. But I even started to revert back to dropping all this nonsense about Dogman. Still, though, in the back of my mind, I could not shake that feeling that our intruder was not a human being. The facts just did not add up. This still tugged at me. And I know it still disturbed Sally. I just wished I had a first-hand glimpse of this, much like my wife saw. Well, you know the adage or that saying about sometimes wishing for something is not exactly what it's all cracked up to be, or something like that? Well, my wish did come true. I still, to this day, don't believe or what to believe. It was mid September, and Sally and I were in the backyard on the deck enjoying the foliage in the woods starting to take color. The sun started to set in back of the tree line, and we were watching 3 or 4 doe prancing about just outside the woods in a meadow. Suddenly, coming crashing into view from the woods was a huge, dark-colored animal running on 2 feet approaching the doe. Yeah, Rob, I know, no animal runs on 2 feet. A bear does not even run upright, and it wobbles even when it walks. However, this thing now drops to all fours and pounced upon the slowest deer already in flight. It dropped the deer. Then, from my vantage point, about 100 yards out, the creature appeared to grab the deer from behind the neck. Now rose to 2 feet and started to shake the deer back and forth, much like a dog would shake its favorite sock or play toy. It was just that easy. Now it appeared to take the deer under one arm and run back into the forest on 2 legs. Sally and I looked in horror. Was this what Sally saw? She could not speak, nor could I. I reached for my phone and called Jeff. Jeff listened and thought I was making up this whole story just to get him to go back in the woods with me. I feverishly told Jeff the story, but he was just reluctant at believing me. Dejectedly, I hung up the phone and consoled my frantic wife as to what we had just witnessed or saw. I did not get back with Jeff. I have not told anybody this story until emailing you this, Rob. My wife demanded that we move, terrified that this creature may pay us a return visit. We put our beautiful dream home up for sale, as our dream now is ended. Unhappily, I might add, we moved to the city of Dublin, Ohio, where Sally could be closer to her mother. Sally wants nothing to do with the woods ever again. Sadly, I must agree with her. Dejected, in Dublin, Sam. Sam, that's terrible, man. That's quite an encounter. I'm sad that Jeff no longer believes you after countless times trying to track this thing over the whole summer. I think he did see something. Sounds like Dogman to me from your description or something, and we know for sure there wasn't a human invasion, back when Sally saw this glowing red eyes, wolf head peering through the veranda while she was in the bedroom. It was something, and then what you've seen from the tree line snatch up the deer like that, it's certainly not a bear. It wasn't not a cougar. I don't even know if it wasn't. I don't even know if cougars are out there in your part of town. What do you guys think out here listening and watching this? Leave a comment. That's pretty creepy. It always breaks my heart that somebody's dreams are shattered over coming across. Most of the time it's these Dogman stories, not so much Bigfoot. Bigfoot, you don't get the intensity. They really want to be left alone. But these Dogman, what are they here for? What's their purpose? Is it to scare us? Thank God the Dogman did not kill this family like all the other stories that we do here. I hope you enjoyed it. I am Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Please subscribe. Please check out Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock is Beyond BMR. Thursday afternoons at 1 o'clock is Bigfoot or Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob. I say it and I will say it again. You guys are the best. I love each and every single one of you. Share me out, subscribe, and have a fabulous weekend. BMR, until next time, I'm out.